Welcome to Culture Screen, where we analyze culture. In this episode, we are summarizing the second episode of Season 1 of House of the Dragon, titled The Rogue Prince. The episode first aired on August 28, 2022. In the beginning, we go through a time lapse, and 6 months have passed since the Queen, Aemma, passed away while giving birth. We are presented with a scene where Kragus Drahar, also known as Crab Feeder, leader of the Triarchy, has just taken out another shipment and is feeding the men of the captured ships to the crabs. Following this scene, Corlys Velaryon runs in on the council meeting as they are appointing a new Kingsguard member. Corlys Velaryon wants the council to stop Crab Feeder as he is directly interfering with his trade and murdering his men in the process. The small council reassures Corlys that they are strategizing a plan to stop Crab Feeder without having to resort to a war. The council is trying to join forces with Pentos and Volantis as a way of coming together against the Triarchy led by Crab Feeder. We see Corlys is disappointed by the lack of urgency, and he highlights the fact that Daemon has been the head of Dragonstone for the last 6 months since Queen Aemma's death, and that this has caused the realm's fear of the crown to be at an all-time low. Regardless of what Corlys says, the council refuses to go into war. Immediately after this decision is made, Rhaenyra suggests they send dragons to show the Triarchy that the crown is still in fact in control of the realm. According to Rhaenyra, this would solve the trade issues they are having in the Stepstones. The council again dismisses Rhaenyra, and they tell her to focus on choosing the next Kingsguard instead of meddling in council business. As Rhaenyra meets each of the Kingsguard candidates, she is upset that none of them have had experience in actual warfare. She is told by her current Kingsguard that Sir Criston Cole is the only one of the candidates that has any actual wartime experience. Rhaenyra's Kingsguard also shares that Criston Cole fought against the Dornish in the Stormlands. Although the Kingsguard tries to guide Rhaenyra into choosing a candidate that would strengthen their family ties, she instead chooses to go with Sir Criston Cole due to his actual fighting experience. Later on, we see Alicent and Viserys talking about old Valyria and how great it was once, especially when compared to Westeros. As their conversation continues, Viserys brings up Rhaenyra and complains that his relationship to his daughter has declined. Alicent tells Viserys that she herself needed time to heal when she lost her own mother. Here, Alicent suggests to Viserys that he only needs to give Rhaenyra her time to heal as well. In another scene, Rhaenyra and Alicent meet up at the Grand Sept. While here, Rhaenyra tells Alicent that she feels the council is actively working to replace her as the next heir to the Iron Throne. Alicent takes this time as an opportunity to help Rhaenyra feel better by leading a prayer session. We learn from Alicent that she too would come to the Grand Sept and pray after she lost her mother as well. As we catch up with Corlys Velaryon, we see he is trying to convince King Viserys to marry his own daughter, Lyanna, as a way of reuniting the Targaryen and Valyrian houses again. Corlys also adds that, although he respects the decision of the small council, they should handle the situation in the Stepstones as a way of protecting the power and legitimacy of the crown. Viserys understands Corlys, but is concerned with how much older he is to Lyanna. The king is also still hesitant to spark a war in the Stepstones at the end of their conversation. Rhaenyra sees her father Viserys walking with Lyanna as they speak about their potential marriage. As she watches them from a distance, again feeling that her position may be at risk, Rhaenys, the queen who never was, tells Rhaenyra that she must accept the fact that her father must remarry and produce a male heir to the Iron Throne. Rhaenys also tells her that she knows from first-hand experience that the realm would rather burn than to accept a woman as their monarch. Remember, I am summarizing the entire series, so subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I will be reviewing other TV shows and movies as well. Let me know what you would like me to summarize in the future in the comment section below. Doing these two things helps my channel out tremendously, and I thank you for your support. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. In a later scene, Viserys is summoned by his hand Otto to an emergency council meeting. At the meeting, Viserys is made aware that the dragon egg reserved for his deceased son was stolen by Daemon. They also tell Viserys that Daemon will marry a second wife, Mysaria. Daemon sends news that he wants his newborn baby to have a dragon as well. This news makes Viserys extremely upset, especially after finding out the egg was the egg Rhaenyra chose for her deceased brother, Balon Targaryen. As Viserys gets ready to head out to Dragonstone, Otto volunteers to go instead of sending the king to risk his life. Viserys accepts Otto going instead, and Otto takes Sir Harold and Sir Criston and they head to Dragonstone Island. In a follow-up scene, we see Otto instructs his daughter Alicent to stick to the plan of meeting with King Viserys that night, indirectly ordering her to make her final sexual advance toward the king, especially since Otto knows Corlys is trying to convince the king to marry his daughter instead. When Otto and the crew arrive at Dragonstone, they are immediately confronted by Daemon. Daemon is himself accompanied by a few gold cloaks and his wife-to-be, Mysaria. Otto tells Daemon that the king commands he send back the gold cloaks, not marry Mysaria, send back the egg, and that Dragonstone be relinquished back to the crown. Daemon of course refuses and says that him having a second wife does not violate Valyrian tradition. When Otto disrespects Mysaria, Daemon immediately unsheathes and points his Valyrian steel sword, Dark Sister, directly at Otto. We see both sides are at a standstill, and the conflict comes to an end when Rhaenyra arrives atop of Syrax, her dragon. After landing her dragon, Rhaenyra walks up to Daemon and demands he return the dragon egg back to her. Rhaenyra suggests that if what he truly wants is to be the next heir to the throne, that he should simply take her out now. Daemon considers her suggestion, but he refuses and chooses to return the egg to her instead. When Daemon and Mysaria are alone in the following scene, she makes it clear to Daemon that she simply wants to be safe. Her whole life she has felt dispensable, and by being with Daemon, she has found protection under his wing. She tells Daemon that he will always be safe because he is the brother of the king, regardless of what he does, but she does not have that same privilege. As we return to King's Landing, we see Viserys scolding Rhaenyra, and he tells her that she could have been killed by going to Dragonstone. He reminds her that not only is she his daughter, but she is also the heir to the throne. King Viserys then musters up the courage to finally speak to Rhaenyra about his need to remarry. Viserys also reminds Rhaenyra that although he will remarry, he will not replace her as heir, and that he will never be able to fill the hole Aemma left in his heart. We see Rhaenyra is sad to hear the news, but she understands he must marry again just in case she herself were to pass away. The next time a small council meeting is called, Viserys shocks everyone by revealing that he will indeed marry, but that he will be marrying Alicent Hightower, the daughter of his hand, Otto Hightower. Of course, this news makes Corlys Velaryon furious, as he was under the impression that Viserys would marry his daughter Lyanna and unite their houses. This causes Corlys to run off upset. In the final scene, we see Corlys is speaking to someone in Driftmark, the island west of Dragonstone. He shares that his ancient Valyrian house is even older than that of the Targaryens, but that since they never had dragons, they became a people of the seas instead. Their hard work and dedication led them to generate more money than that of even House Lannister. As the camera turns, we see he is speaking to Daemon Targaryen. Corlys devises a plan for them to regain their lost honor from the council and the realm. Corlys adds that since they have both been ignored by the king, they should come together and join forces. By doing so, Corlys says they will regain their respect, they will travel down to the Stepstones and take out Crabfeeder themselves without the help of the king. We see Daemon becomes interested in the idea when Corlys tells him this is an opportunity for them to claim their lost glory. That was episode number 2, titled The Rogue Prince. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. If you enjoyed this summary, consider clicking like. It goes a long way toward helping me grow this channel. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. See you on the next one.
You've come for the egg.
Here it is.
We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.